My name is Shara. I have been suffering from an anxiety disorder since my early 20s. It's about 25 years, and for most of that time I was on an SSRI. Towards the end of that time in my life, I got put on a benzodiazepine and felt myself slipping deeper and deeper into anxiety and depression, even with the medication. I came here because I really wanted to get off of medications, and I knew I needed to treat my symptoms from a holistic approach, not just putting a Band-Aid over it. I come from a history of childhood trauma, and I believe a lot of my anxiety stemmed from that trauma. So it wasn't just a one-size-fits-all approach. When I came to ATMC, they evaluated my whole history and developed a treatment plan specific for what I needed to address. I think the symptom that was the most alleviated was some of my shame and guilt from my past that I was able to work through, which helped empower me moving forward, trying to manage my anxiety on my own without medication. My experience at the ATM Detox shop was interesting, to say the least. It's an amazing place and brutal at times. Sitting through the sauna for up to 2 hours a day can be daunting. And it's where I believe the most growth happens, because in those moments you're sitting in your pain, which is unfortunately what our society teaches us not to do. We have drugs and alcohol, we have prescription medications to numb us. And at the detox shop, you are forced to sit with your pain with the support of staff and peers around you and deal with it. So when I say it was brutal, it was absolutely necessary. The rest of it was just wonderful. I mean, the massage and the foot baths and all of the facials, it's kind of your reward for getting through that sauna experience, and made it all really worth it. And the staff was always positive and helpful, and just overall it was a great experience. For me, the evening group that was the most helpful was yoga. I've always been kind of an avid exercise person, and because of the childhood trauma that I suffered from, I was really out of touch with my body. So engaging in a yoga practice, which started here basically at ATMC, helped me get back in touch with my body. So for me, that was the most helpful. So what made ATMC so special for me is, again, the holistic approach. They treat the entire body from head to toe. I think the staff just add to that experience. I was never greeted with anything less than a smile or a good morning or a good evening. The warmth and compassion that I received made all the difference in the world. And equally, having that peer support. The way that this program's set up, it's very homey. You're like living in a big cabin, it feels like sometimes, with your family. And over the course of 5 to 6 weeks, you get to know these individuals on an intimate level. And that was really, really helpful, having that peer support get you through some of the rough times. Do I feel supported in my transition back home from ATMC? Absolutely. The clinical team made it a point to look up resources for therapists, homeopathic doctors, groups that I might be able to attend, and I was provided a whole list of resources to reach out to once I left here and resumed back to my normal life. So I felt very supported. I would recommend this program to others, primarily because of the stance they take on psychiatric medications. while I understand the need in certain circumstances for certain medications, I also believe that society as a whole has gotten really lazy in treating the person. And we are just in an atmosphere of putting Band-Aids on all problems and all issues. ATMC does not do that. They do not put a Band-Aid. My advice to anyone coming in here is to understand from the beginning, this is not easy. It can be painful. And you are supported and you are safe, and it is so worth the pain. Because the outcome in the end is empowerment over needing anything else but yourself to cope and withstand the trials and tribulations that life will always hand us.